This world is sour. And here, sourer still, a stinking sump of rust and ruin. A hollow, boiling beneath the reel. The landlord here was a hungry man. Took everything he could. Money, time, teeth, blood. Folded in on himself with the want. Then it found him. Bound him in a hell all his own. Twisted him monstrous. Gave back that hunger tenfold and watched it run rampant. By the time we found him, there were dozens dead in their beds. Normal folk can't see it. They can't taste the rot on their tongue. But you can. It's in your soul. It marked you as one of its own. And one day, it'll take you too. But not today. Today, we make this world better. Today, we cut that cancer out with blade and bullet. Come with me into the hollow. You are a hunter. And today, you will hunt.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our actual play of the Sins of Grisham Priory, Hollows. We're really excited to bring this to you. It is episode 1. Some of you may have seen our session 0 where we developed our characters and handled some of our stats, but if you haven't, it'll be a surprise. Today is Monday, and tomorrow is the launch of Hollows, so that's incredibly exciting. I can't wait for you all to see it, and definitely join us at 3 p.m. British summer time, so the current British time. So join us at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Tuesday, the 28th, and we're going to be launching Hollows, and we're going to have people on to chat about it. It's going to be really fun, and you know, it's kind of the culmination of a lot years of work by many people. So yeah, no, we're all psyched. But today we're gonna play the Sins of Grisham Priory, or sort of the slightly buffed out modified version, because we want to show you a little bit of everything that you get in Hollows. So I think that's almost all of my upkeep. I want to say our art, that is our background here, and much of the art for Hollows is by the talented Sam Lamont. I want to say thank you, Grant, for GMing for us. Thank you, all of you, for thank you all of you for being here to watch, but also thank you all of you, as in Chant, Elaine, and Chris, for playing with us. And if you want to pick up the free Hollows Quickstart, you can do so by getting the Sins of Grisham Priory. This is the part I really mess up on every time. It is rrdgames.com/hollows, and you can get that Sins of Grisham Priory quick start, as well as get notified about updates coming forward to the launch. Although the notification you're going to get if you join today is we're launching, and that you're going to get that tomorrow. So enjoy that. I've rambled enough, but within that rambling, I think I've communicated a few important points. And from here, I'm going to pass it on to Grant. Let's play a game.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to this Hollows, the Sins of Grisham Priory. As CJ mentioned, we are running a slightly modified version because I'm never satisfied with anything I do. But also, as they said, we want to show off a little bit of the broader Hollows experience. The quick start is really sawn off rather than cut down. We'll go with that. And so we've cut out a lot of the extraneous bits that aren't directly fighting or exploring a hollow. But today we're going to do our first intrusion, which is how one breaks into a hollow. I'm joined today by Elaine and Chant, who are two producers. Our two producers at RRD. Also Chris, who is my co-author, and CJ, who you all know, who is who has too many jobs to correctly sum them up. But CJ, what would you prefer to be known as?
I just generally go with community marketing and customer service. One of the ones that's most relevant here is community. So, hi community. I'm you.
Terrifying.
Community champion, CJ. Anyway, hello. So, let's get started. The quick start traditionally starts with our heroes, our hunters, being dragged into the hollow by a mysterious wizard-type person, because that felt like the easiest way to get around writing up the intrusion rules in the document. But we've got those intrusion rules. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with that, and I'll set the scene. Grisham Priory is a rundown, ramshackle, decrepit, blasted waste of an old Viridian church. The Viridians are a sect of gardeners. Yeah, gardeners, farmers, who espouse the idea that the old gods have died, and a new glorious Eden will grow from them up into the Isles through proper tending and care. They moved into an awful lot of the old faith churches, took them over, added greenhouses and farms and that sort of thing, which is why Grisham Priory, the place that we're in, looks a bit like a really gothic garden centre. For the best way I can describe it, it's
Church Kew Gardens.
Yeah. Well, once you get into the hollow, yeah, certainly. It's slightly less dramatic than that in the real world. As our hunters approach, you can see as you travel towards the priory, you can see there's miles and miles of overgrown farms, of abandoned homesteads, of the taste of a hollow. You can all taste it on the wind. You can see it in the patterns of the birds. You can smell it in gun smoke. There is something wrong here. And Grisham Priory itself, as I said, is a large greenhouse / church, combined, fairly rundown, a lot of broken glass, with the odd now feral pig snuffling around outside. And all four of you are here. We have. Let's get some introductions from people, please. As you trump up, are you in a carriage? Are you are you walking here? Are you on horseback? Are you running? Chris, we'll start with you. How do you think the party got here?
I figured that we took horses or a carriage to like the nearest road that came here, and then it's all sort of a country walk.
Yeah,
like the moors and the rugged countryside.
Plus the horses get a bit
our gear with us. Yeah,
the horses don't like being that close to a hollow. They've got that sort of the way that dogs can smell ghosts. Horses can smell hollows. It turns out. Cool. So yes, you've trumped up, and in the courtyard outside of the priory, we see all four of our heroes. Let's get a description of CJ first, and then we'll go CJ, Chris, Chant, and Elaine.
So, Alexandra Brackett still carries herself as the blue blood that she is, but there's something a bit off. Her clothes are faded and torn in places, as nice as they are. They're not up to standard. You couldn't walk into a party in these clothes. You would be looked down upon. Her hair is long and reddish and curly, and it's pulled back, and you can tell, just like the clothes, at one point she would have had some sort of respectable hairdo, something that would have taken time to do and would have potentially even taken assistance to do, but she doesn't have that now, so it's pulled back in some sort of mangled representation of what would be a respectable high society hairstyle, and it's already coming down. She's not particularly skilled at it. She wasn't ever the one who had to do her hair for most of her life, and it shows, but a lot of that's hidden under a hat anyway. It's sort of a tricorn, and it's literally is
tricorn fashion in
I don't know.
the Isles?
I think
is it current? What do you think?
I think it's probably a bit old at this point. I feel like it was probably fashion at some point. but it was probably fashion in her mother's time.
I'd like to think it's a mother's hat.
It might be, yeah, I think it is. And that's sort of her entire wardrobe is sort of some sort of conglomeration of something that probably was fashionable, at least within the last 5 years or so, mixed in with things that are just outdated, old, worn, and some of them probably have some sort of sentimental value. She still stands straight. She's focused on the place ahead, on this goal that you're all seeking out. But you've been in a hollow with her before. You've worked with her before. Maybe not extensive. I believe we decided this is our second hollow.
Sure.
And so you know that there's a lot boiling under the surface from both a physical appearance and from a mannerisms. That's just she's not the grand. It's not the grandeur it used to be. Just like the crown itself, she's faded and irrelevant.
Accompanying her is a horrible-looking bastard played by Chris.
Just automatically assume horrible-looking bastard.
I guessed. Sorry, are you like clean cut? Are you like Jason Donovan looking motherfucker?
I'll go with it. So Night Sergeant Weeks used to be a member of the armies and still wears part of the regimental uniform. So he's still got the epaulets, grubby, but still got the epaulets on, like a very heavy leather coat. And he is currently dragging an enormous bag of stuff, like one of those enormous duffel bag type things that's too large and it's heavy.
And it's like string pull at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just dragging that of supplies they might need. But he is a fairly square man, completely shaved head. Sergeant Weeks.
Oh, and a shotgun that's whispering to him, I imagine, as well.
Yes, he also has a shotgun and a revolver, both at his belt.
So they hit me in the nuts and keep me humble.
No, he's got his repeating shotgun that's kind of like hooked to the back of his belt.
Oh yeah. Also, CJ, your weapons are going to be really prominent in every shot because that's what Hollows is about. What are you packing?
Yeah, a book and a knife. So much like, I think a lot of folks are carrying things on their holsters on their hips. Alexandra has a belt and has a book holster.
Oh.
And on the other side, I would say, I've got her. She's wearing a very long skirt, but the knife is holstered on a thigh holster underneath the skirt.
Easy access.
Difficult access. Is that a book under your skirts, or are you just pleased?
She's not wearing a massive bustle, so all she's got to do is hike it up.
Yeah, cool.
Propriety's not on her mind anymore, I'm afraid.
So that's the representation from the crown, but also to assist in tracking down these hollows. The first of which has led you here to the Bishop Bishop. What was his name? Something Grisham. It's in the book. Bishop Grisham. Which I think is the first time I've said those combination of words out loud. The hunting party is receiving some assistance from the conclave. And we'll start with the occult expert played by Chant.
With Mr. Merlin Graves, who is a tall gentleman who goes to some effort to make himself appear less tall and less imposing. He's very thin, stoop-shouldered, very clean, but otherwise not very good at taking care of himself. The suit needs darning, the cheeks need shaving, the nails definitely need trimming. He's, unlike his comrades, he is not visibly armed, but he is carrying a large black leather attaché case, which I think the camera lingers on threateningly for a moment. And to make his way over this uneven, unwelcoming ground, he's leaning quite heavily on the arm of our final party member.
Played by Elaine.
Hello. Yes, I think this is Rosie. She is she's tall. She has muscles aplenty. She somehow perpetually seems to be like soot stained. Like she can have a bath and immediately come out and there's just soot stains. And she's in like tough workers overalls. She's got a large like sort of um forging hammer hanging off of a loop on her belt, and a rather mundane seeming slab of wrought iron, like just a metal plate sort of hung over her shoulder, which seems, like she's just kind of walked off the assembly line. And in all of this moment of the foreboding, you can taste the hollow in the air, and it's this unsettling unnaturalness. Rosie's used to a hollow. Rosie's not used to a pig. Oh my god. Mr. Merlin, what is that?
Try and ignore them, Rose. Don't draw their ire.
It's making some awful noises.
Indeed they are.
I'm so glad you chose the "Oi, Mr. Yumi Dad" voice for Rosie.
Oh boy.
If it wasn't so
And,
close to a hollow, I'd say that's food.
The pigs are looking like both bloated and emaciated. Like they're eating they're eating a lot of stuff which isn't very good for them. And so they're sick. They're covered in their hair. What hair there is on a pig is falling out in clumps. They've got horrible, manky-looking yellow teeth growing out of their jaw at weird angles. It looks like something has corrupted these pigs a little bit.
Oh, poor lovelies. Can we take one home? No.
Categorically not, Rose.
Says a pig, and then does just the worst shit.
Do they all smell like this?
So what we're going to do now? We're going to do an intrusion. So this is broadly a bit of free role play. Well, no, not free role play. Focused role play, which involves to break into a hollow. You hunters broadly have developed a set of actions which give them access to this malignant otherworld, which is spawned inside the head of someone who is particularly broken or cruel or damaged. And so the generally what we want to do, just from a design point of view, is take a lot of like seance ideas and fortune telling ideas and use them in an aggressive way, or use them to lie to the Lord of the Hollow as a means of breaking in. So I'm gonna do a bit of reading now, so you and the audience can understand what's going on. There are 4 broad stages, and each of you will have to do one of these, and we'll have a roll afterwards. And these are well, I'll read them. First stage is gather. Fetishes and totems representing the Lord are presented, worn, sacrificed, or otherwise involved in the entrance ritual to establish a sympathetic connection to the Hollow. If the hunters are in the employ of someone else, their organization might donate a few personal effects to the effort. You think that's interesting? You can do. Otherwise, it's a matter of searching the area at the center of the rot for anything that seems important, or making representative facsimiles to stand in their place. And then we have things to gather or fashion, so the Lord's clothes, furniture, handwriting, or keepsakes, the Lord's physical remains, daguerreotypes of the Lord, religious artifacts, slate, salt, onyx, flint, or any other protective mineral, or silver, mercury, sulfur, or any material associated with other worlds. That's gather. The next is resonate. By aping the behaviors of the Lord, acting in accordance with the dominant malignancy's desires, the dominant malignancy here is hunger, or otherwise establishing a thematic link between themselves and the Hollow, the hunters can align themselves with its spiritual nature and gain easier access. Ways to resonate, we have here mock funerals, executions, burials, and imprisonment, acting out what you believe to be the genesis of the Lord's torment, hallucinogenic mushrooms, ritualistic destruction of the Lord's enemies, ice baths, fasting, probably don't have enough time to fast, and adorning yourself with suitable materials, rust, dirt, ash, blood. The third step is commune. Once the attention of the Hollow has been drawn, hunters attempt to communicate with the Lord and draw the parasitic dimension to the surface. By asking questions that the entity may or may not be compelled to answer honestly, they can learn about what they're getting themselves into and establish a bond with the grim unreality that awaits them. We've got some ways to commune here are tracing out the Lord's words letter by letter with a planchette, or dividing them via pendulum, accepting the Lord's spirit into your body and letting them speak through you directly, automatic writing or painting, tarot cards, casting runes or bones, prescribed viridian necromantic rites that tap into the mouldering consciousness of the afterlife. Yeah, our editor's not been through this yet. And proclaiming a possibly even valid dynastic right to command the lost spirits of the Isles, forcing the Lord to manifest with your willpower and blood alone. And then the final one is Rend. With the connection established and the hunters aligned with the energies of the Hollow, a weapon is used to break apart the barrier between the worlds and allow access. This final step is always one of violence. Tearing open the sympathetic link into a ragged wound, the participants are granted a brief opportunity to force their way into the Hollow without being utterly subsumed by it. And the sample ways to rend we have done here are setting fire to the ritual site, tearing a hole through a magic circle and crawling through, impaling or unmaking an effigy of the Lord, and letting the unreality bleed out of them, nailing your hand to the wall, smashing apart a door, and charging through it, or destroying a ritual element with an almighty explosion, losing consciousness, and coming to on the other side. So that's a few ideas of things you can do. Each one of you is going to need to, one of you is going to need to do each of these. So they are, again, gather to get things together, resonate to convince the Hollow you're supposed to be there, commune to talk to the bishop, and rend to kick in the back door. Does anyone have any preferences for what they'd like to do?
I would like to take gather, please, if nobody minds.
Please.
Do resonance.
So we've got resonance, rend,
Commune, and I've already forgotten. Gather, resonate, commune, and rend.
Which one's the violent one?
Rend.
Sorry, go ahead.
Rend.
What were you thinking, Millie?
Oh, I was just going to say Rosie has a very big hammer that's probably very good at rending. You know.
What does
But,
that leave?
Commune.
Cool.
So the seance spiritualist sort of thing.
Yeah, sure, you can take that.
Cool.
I feel like will you get off the dog wants my sausage roll. I feel like Alexandra is unexpectedly violent at times, but I think that she definitely is very sharp and wise, and I think that she probably has some knowledge in that area, so she'd be willing to do that.
Cool.
Yeah.
What we'll do, we'll go through these in order. Generally, the way it works is you describe your actions and roll under an appropriate stat. There's no official ruling on this. You'd have to convince me that the stat you're rolling is useful to what you're doing. On a success, a bad thing happens to you. On a failure, 2 bad things happen to you.
Welcome to Hollows, everyone.
Yeah. It's just a way of just sort of softening you up before you come into the Hollow. So, Chant, what are you gathering?
So, I think we're going to use the greenhouse as our ritual site. Merlin's going to go in there and clear some plant pots off a long trestle table, sweep the dirt off, and then start removing things from the attaché case. And he has clearly come prepared. He's got a hymnal from the old church, from the services that used to take place here, and I think a black and white daguerreotype of the bishop, Bish Grish.
Bish Grish looks incredible in the He looks like he's got more than 2 sleeves on his robes, if that makes sense. Like he's a superfluous level of wealth displayed.
Yeah, and I think despite being black and white and being not traditionally a particularly high contrast medium, it's managed to pick up the amount of gilding and ornate stitching and just fancy accessories on this man. And he clips this to the front of the hymn book, and then he starts setting up an array of candles in a dizzying assortment of colours with an unpleasant and clashing set of aromas. Some of them, as he lights them, are definitely releasing mercury fumes. Do not stand too close. And then around the hymnal, he arranges, I think, 4 little chess pieces that represent us, or at least 4 little wooden carvings, like a big, hulking, roughly feminine one for Rose, a more delicate feminine one for Alex. I think just a lump for the sergeant, and then something that's the most delicate whittled twig for himself. Like a barely standing pin doll of a man.
It's waving back and forth in a closed room.
And then once the atmosphere is suitably noxious and the room is suitably smoke-filled, he gestures for everyone to come a little closer.
Tremendous. Yes, the greenhouse. You'd think the amount of broken glass in here would let a breeze through, but there's something. But it's the smoke seems to cling to the inside of this thing, and so it's becoming a little bit hard to see. Also, there's all that mercury you've breathed in. But next up, we'll all roll together at the end. Next up is Chris.
Weeks goes into the sort of duffel bag he's been carrying, and starts pulling out like pots and pans and things like that, and grabs a load of wood from the area and makes a little fire, just a small one, onto which he puts the pots and pans, and then he's starting to mix like ration paste.
Okay.
In the
Pot?
stew pot. Yes, pot. That's the word. I completely forgot.
I'm
the word
imagining
pot.
ration paste is like a less appetizing Marmite.
Yeah, it's like in my head, it's like if you dehydrated gruel.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And then you just
Fuel.
mix it. Yeah, if you mix it with water, and it just makes this sort of thick, gruely porridge.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's sort of stirring that and hearing all this chanting and still breathing some mercury fumes, which he's probably kind of alarmingly used to at this point,
It's not going to be what kills you.
goes into the bag and pulls out a smaller money bag full of shillings and just empties it into the gruel.
Oh, nice.
Mixes it round and then serves up 4 bowls. Just hands them round and then just starts eating his, and just like he gets a shilling caught and swallows it.
Tremendous. You can feel the the air starts to tighten around you. Inside this ritual area, everything seems more real than the outside world. But the outside world starts to what's the word? Go a bit hazy, as it were. But you eat down your meal of coins and porridge. And next up, there is some communing to be done. It seems like the attention of the Lord is upon you. How do you commune with it, CJ?
That's an excellent question. So I think that even though Alexandra is of the Crown faction, definitely has some kind of occulty interests. And you've seen her use, like Ouija before, but she's not choosing that this time. She's casting runes. So she sits down unceremoniously on the ground, kind of facing where you're heading to go with runes, and she looks at it, and then she thinks for a minute, and she hikes up her skirt and pulls the book out, sets it down, not because she's going to do anything with it, because it likes to watch. So it is a beautiful but worn book, leather bound, gold foil, and it looks like it's been, it's of the Crown. It doesn't have any like particular relics, in it or anything like that. It's very clearly noble faction. I did a lot of reading on what the different weapons kind of look like, and I thought it was really cool, but that's another story. So it's very filigree, but like I said, it likes to watch when she's doing this. It's
What's
really
it a book of?
I think that it is actually I wouldn't necessarily call it a diary, but it's a combination of notes and just opinions as well, probably from several people. It's been handed from person to person, and each person has put their own knowledge into that, but also just their own absolutely, not necessarily even correct opinions, just all over these pages. So it's half diary, half work of notes and study.
As you flick it open so it can watch, the first word that your finger lands on is "thank you," and then it goes on. I say it doesn't go on. It thanks you through its means as much as it's able.
Absolutely. Yep. She smiles a little to herself.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's into the book. And not that way, but she's now that I've put it on her thigh as well. So I don't know, man.
I mean, that's kind of how we wrote all the weapons.
Maybe she is into the book.
Yeah.
She smiles to herself and kind of turns the runes around.
What sort of runes are we talking here? Are they Nordic runes? Are they sort of I Ching that you got imported from the far colonies?
I think they're closer to I think they're actually, and my brain has done a bleh, but it's similar to, if it were a real world equivalent, it's like Ogham.
Cool. Okay, yeah.
So
old stuff.
Yeah, and I think they are actually etched into semi-precious stones. This is a thing she has collected that she's quite attached to. This is one of her favorites. Like some of the other stuff she'll use whatever to do whatever. She's not precious, but this is one of her favorites. So she turns these gemstones over in her hand for a moment and looks at them and goes, "All right, it's time for you to talk." And she'll cast the runes and see what comes up.
Cool. I would like to briefly apologise for insinuating that the I Ching is younger than Olgham's script. I think the I Ching really outranks it in terms of who showed up first. I don't think we had writing when the I Ching was knocking around. Cool. If you have any particular questions that you'd like to ask, that's cool. Otherwise, we can do it all in your mind.
Yeah, I think basically, as trying to kind of make that connection and bridge that, it's more of a what do you have to say? What's going on here?
Not like a, what have you got to say for yourself, young man?
It might be, actually. But basically, it's just like me. She's going on vibes. So,
as you throw these gemstones to the ground and interpret their position, it feels as though it's like they're trying to slip down cracks. It's like they're it's like they're rolling downhill into the cracks in the flagstones of this place. But there's no hill. It's hungry. It wants them.
It's trying to eat them. Yeah. She will. For now, she's going to still leave them down because she feels like this is an integral sort of. They're enticing. They're trying to, But there will be a point in which she is trying to get these back before they go.
Okay. Cool. There's dead brambles are growing out of start sprouting out of the flagstones around where you're carving up around Chant's impromptu altar, and crawling into the fire that the sergeant set and catching fire themselves. And now it's time for some violence, Elaine.
Yeah. So I think during this, Rosie's kind of, as the candles are getting set up, kind of looming over Merlin's shoulder and then kind of getting... Oh, okay. And then gets handed a bowl of gruel and coins. Side eyes Merlin. It's okay. It's okay to eat. It's good. Just wandering around sort of absently as the occult stuff's happening. Is still crunching on coins and everything. And I think as the smoke from these brambles sort of starts trailing up, she kind of watches it and sees it start to almost stick hold ever so slightly to this one pane of glass in this greenhouse that isn't cracked or splintered, and the forge hammer on her belt just kind of gets a little bit warm, vibrates a little bit. She's like, oh, right, you are. Okay. Puts the grill down. It's like, Mr. Merlin, I think I've got the spot, and takes the hammer out.
You know what to do.
My favorite part, and then she just winds up and smashes that one remaining shard of that one remaining pane of glass, which I imagine would cause some form of reality smashing thing that would, outside of the greenhouse has become all hazy and distant. I imagine with the smashing of this one final pane, reality shatters away, and we're
There is a big great adjective, Grant. There's this huge rush of smoke from inside, from outside to the inside, but it's like mist, or much like Elaine said, the reality is coming in here, or the reality is swapping. You're changing places. There's this huge, tremendous rush of broken glass and smoke. Can everyone give me a roll, please, underneath whichever stat they feel is suitable for what they're doing, and tell me there's no such thing as a superior success on this one. So it's either are you just looking to roll under your stat?
I did.
Hey,
all of my stats.
Well done.
I rolled bang on my wise.
Oh, tremendous! You get a good thing.
Hold on. Yeah, I rolled over all of my stats.
Tremendous.
I got under my strong, which feels like the appropriate thing to break through a reality barrier.
Absolutely. So there are 4 things here I'm going to list. If you succeeded, take 1. If you failed, take 2. And if you got a critical success like Chant, you get none of them, and you get a suitable relic or rumor. And then it says generic relics are listed on page XX for inspiration, which I haven't written yet. Oh, I think sorry.
We have generic relics.
Yeah, this is in a different part of the book.
Yeah.
So, Chant, if you can come up with an interesting thing for your character to be toting around, we can come up with some mechanics for it in a little bit.
Go through the bad things first.
Absolutely. Take D6 corruption for metaphysical backlash. When you hit 10 corruption, you get something interesting. Not necessarily good, it's interesting. Take 2 resolve damage as you endure physical or mental punishment. Take 1 wound damage, square brackets, fluff. Take 1 doom as you upset the Lord or give them a chance to move against you. So it's D6 corruption, 2 resolve, 1 wound, or 1 doom. And then tell me how that happens to you. We'll start with Chris.
I'm going to take the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because he was standing fairly close to that window and got a lungful. Like the mercury he's almost used to.
Yeah.
Powdered glass and reality is not good for the lungs. So yeah, he's going to get D6 corruption. Shall I roll that now?
Yeah, please. Is the Night Sergeant perpetually smoking? Or is that
yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And unless you say otherwise, shoot.
I got 3 corruption.
Cool. Make a note of that. When you hit 10, it gets interesting.
Yeah.
When you die, you take some more. All right, Elaine, what are you going for?
I think Rosie would take some resolve damage here. She did smash a window, and I imagine just some of those shards are gonna bounce back and slice her arm up a little bit, do a bit of damage.
Tremendous.
Ow, fucker.
CJ, you get to pick 2.
I do. I have a question first about Doom. The way you put that out there sounds like it would potentially affect the whole party.
Absolutely. So the way that Doom works is it's the hollow reacting to you. Think of it like white blood cells in the hollow.
Trying to push you out.
Absolutely. Or trying to murder you over and over. So I think this hollow caps out at 15 Doom because it's a bit shorter than most other hollows. It's currently at 0, and once at various brackets, the entities level up a little bit. But it's fine. Take it. Go for it. It's a bit of fun.
I
Character goes in
think
without any problems.
well, I did not because I've got two. I was between for my second one. I was between that or resolve. And I have my resolve is 7, so it's not terrible. So I think at this point I'm gonna play it a little bit safe and not do Doom. This time, and I'm gonna do the resolve damage. How much resolve damage is it? 2. Okay, so that puts me at 5 resolve, which is just fantastic. How would I represent resolve damage narratively?
So resolve damage is bumps, bruises, stress, exhaustion, near misses, that sort of thing. I think eating those coins isn't very good for you, and you definitely didn't eat a lot of coins back when you had money.
Yeah, well, I think there's that. There's bumps and bruises. I think she might take some resolve damage trying to reclaim her runes from these brambles.
Yeah, I like that. That's really cool. You're scrambling around, and the brambles start coiling up around your wrists.
Yeah.
Um,
and it's so she's scratched up. Like,
as Elaine, sorry, as Rosie breaks the glass, there is you were asking the bishop, what are you up to, that sort of thing, and there's sort of like there's a horrible echoing noise in your head. She's, I'll show you, as it smacks you between the eyes, as you come into the hollow. So that's plenty of resolve damage there.
And in sort of conjunction with that, in response to the response from the bishop, the other thing that I'm going to take is the D6 corruption.
That's the stuff. D6 corruption is basically a free, like, it's just kicking the can down the road. Everyone should be taking corruption at every point.
But I love it because eventually something very interesting is going to happen.
Yeah. You start.
Do we have a D6 on here somewhere, or shall I just roll one?
Use the curse trackers.
Curse trackers are D6s.
Aha! All right. I also almost forgot that you can just click roll, which is a lot better than throwing it halfway across the table. So I take holy bug. I take 6 corruption. Alexandra is going in strong, my friends.
Good stuff. Yeah, you take a lungful of bishop rage. As the smoke clears, you're coughing up different coins from the ones you ate.
She's not. I think that, and the thing is that I think that she's probably somehow coughing up more coins than she ate. Because I think she gave the bowl
hey, this
sort
chick's
of
playing out.
Yeah.
That's why you finish your coins.
I think she gave the bowl sort of a perfunctory, like,
suck some of the gruel off.
Eat. Like, she's just like, okay, anyway, and like went back to her thing. So yes, this is exactly. Sergeant Weeks is correct. This is why
You'll need to get at least 2 packs of coins in you now, or you won't make it through.
In between coughing up coins, she's like, trying to avoid this.
Like we get the you cough up some coins, and the camera focuses on it landing on the floor, and it's this heavy discolored gold coin with the bishop's face on it, the same face we've seen from the daguerreotype. As the smoke clears, and you are no longer in the greenhouse, you are in the graveyard. You're in the graveyard of a different place entirely. Take the description I had of Grisham Priory before and extend it out in every direction.
Do you want my relic?
Yeah, what's your relic, Chant?
Yeah. CJ sets him up, I knock him down. So, Merlin is the last to collect himself, like busy packing away all of his stuff into his attaché case, and he saves one pocket handkerchief, and in it he gathers up all of those old, tarnished, but local coins that Alexandra coughed up. And he ties it off with a little red thread, and he's assembled a tithe. And I don't know what it's going to do yet, but he's got one.
Oh, madam, those coins look useful. Might I have them for my handkerchief? How elegant. Yeah, cool.
They'll make a cracking borscht.
I like the idea of a tithe. I think I like the idea of it. Like, if you're sort of forcing an entity to do something, or forcing like a reposition, damage feel that doesn't quite feel right.
Mm.
You could pay it to ignore an instance of damage. We'd go with that.
Oh, I like that.
So you can. Okay, yeah, that's the deal. When you take damage, instead of any damage, you can mark 1 resolve, discard that, and it gets rid of that.
I've just become a significantly more useful healer.
Yeah.
Amazing, thank you.
as you effectively buy off the hollow. But yes, the smoke clears. The coins clink to a stop, and they're not on a flagstone. They're on broken gravestones. You are in this graveyard, and I guess I'm sorry, I was halfway through the description. That's right. Take the idea of Grisham Priory and blow it up in every direction. There are what was before a sort of winding, perhaps cobbles or dirt path has now been blasted out into miles and miles of absolutely fuck all. There's nothing. There are rows and rows. Dotted across the landscape, there are these shattered churches and mausolea. But it seems like the graveyard is. I'll put this out. Anything outside of the priory is the graveyard. And it slowly gets more graveyard as you get towards the priory until the gravestones are thick, like a forest of granite. And standing, looming, hideous in the center is the priory. This massive, entirely unreal space. There's a twisted tower at the head from which you can see red strands of red, well, that's red silk or red cotton, crown red, being caught in the wind, and a misshapen earth suggesting that there's something huge underneath here. But quite aside from all that, there's an entity to fight. Dun dun dun! As you meet the Guardian Hound, here he is. Rawr! He is
Charming little boy.
He's got a little model there. Whoa, not you. The Guardian Hound is, I think I've written some fluff for this. Yeah, we are. The Hound is a simple beast, a physical manifestation of the bishop's frantic desire to protect what he believes to be his. It takes the form of a grotesquely muscled dog, half pit bull, half wolfhound, and stands taller than a man at the shoulder. A rusted chain hangs from its collar, binding it to a post in the center of its graveyard hunting ground. Any fur it once possessed has been shaved away by terrified attendants and brought to the tailor to weave into clothing. The creature's bare skin is covered in Viridian holy text instead. This horse-sized thing clambers up on top of a mausoleum. You can see these heavy chains hanging down from around its neck, and it howls. It howls this horrible staccato, hungry noise. And then bounds towards you through the air. I'm going to roll for initiative. So, this may be some people's first time seeing a fight in Hollows. It's all this is the tactical map, which I don't know why I'm showing it to you because you can't see through my screen. This is the tactical map here, which has all the places you can be around the entity. The entity doesn't move. We don't technically need this model here. It's just kind of cute to have him. But normally you just have this space blank, or you'd use the entity token, which we've got there, with sort of generic entity token to represent it. There are places around where you can sneak up on the creature, or you can flank it, or you can hang back and shoot it, or you can go into support. Support is probably the only weird thing we need to explain here. And when you get into support, that means that you have broken line of sight with the monster. You are able to catch your breath and recover for a little bit. Support is anything which is not directly engaged with the monster. For initiative, we're going to make you're going to roll underneath your sharp. If you roll, I'm trying to remember. Yes. So the way in which we do any roll in Hollows works a little bit like blackjack. So you're looking to roll under your stat, like we did when we were going through when we were doing the intrusion. But when it's opposed by something like an entity, I will give the players a TN, or a task number, and they're looking to roll over this task number, but under their stat. If they roll under their stat, but under the task number, that's still a success. It's just not a very good one. That means they get half of what they wanted. If they roll over the TN and under their stat, that's a superior success. And that means they generally get all of what they wanted. If they roll their stat exactly, like Chant did when we were doing the intrusion, it's critical success. Generally, you get +1 to everything and good things happen. So, this test is opposed by the Hound's ranged defense, which is representative of how wary it is of looking around. It has a range defense of 12, so you're looking to roll over 12 and under your sharp. Tell me what kind of success or failure you get.
Standard success.
Standard?
Standard success.
As is traditional, I have failed my initiative.
Good man.
I have a standard. That's if it's over 1, but like it's over my sharp, but over 12, but under my sharp.
Oh, that's a superior success.
Oh,
That's
shit.
tremendous.
Wait, no,
You
sorry.
wanna go?
I lied.
You wanna go?
It's over 12, but not under my sharp is what I
Oh,
meant
that's
to
a
say.
complete failure.
So that's
Join me down
Oh.
here in the dregs.
Okay, yeah, no, I thought I was getting a standard success there. I just borked it.
You need to, yes. So if you roll more than your stat, that's a fail, no matter what happens. So, okay.
Nice. I would have lost regardless then in that case because
Yeah.
my sharp is lower than 12.
So yes, one of the things about hollows is that sometimes it's impossible to get a superior success, and this will become apparent when you start fighting the thing properly. So you have to sort of weaken it, or deal with the fact that you can't always get everything you want, or in this case, none of what you want. So the first, you can choose, Chris and Elaine, whether you'd like to act before the monster or whether you'd like to position yourselves.
Position, please.
Understood, Chris? Elaine?
I think before the monster would be good.
Very good. I'm going to shove you over. I'll put you over here. We'll go slightly.
Rosie was finishing off her meal. She wasn't really conscious of what was happening. She was,
What?
Are you good?
You going to
You
beat
can
this
finish
point?
that. You can finish that, love. And then just the howling and oh,
Just over the roar and just yelling at CJ's character like, "That's why you eat your coins!"
Yeah, it's literally point taken.
Everyone else, I get to put you wherever I like, and you go last. I think CJ, you're probably going to be least useful in rear. We'll pop you there. And Chant, why not? Actually, we'll pop you both there.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Absolutely.
Actually, no, Chant wants to be up close, doesn't he? Pop you over here.
I'm not going to give you help. I'm not going to give you help. I'm
Putting
on
you
the
there.
other team. I'm on the other team now.
I'm putting you right there, Chant.
You're done. You've done it now.
I've done it. So now it's Elaine, and then it's the dog, and then it's everyone else. No, sorry, it's Chris, and then it's the dog, and then it's everyone else. No?
No,
Fuck.
Chris
Nope.
positions himself.
It's Elaine, then it's the dog, then it's everyone else.
Yes.
yeah.
Jesus, let's write that down. So Elaine, you're up first. You start the fight ready with your armor.
I start the fight ready because of my armor. Yep. Seeing this horrifying large dog, is that as we're not taking that one home, are we, Merlin?
Definitely not, Rosie.
Okay. And I'm gonna use. So we get actions. Do we talk action economy?
Yes, let's go for it. We get two. You get two actions on your round. You get an attack and a maneuver. It's be pretty familiar to anyone who's played a role-playing game before. Your maneuvers cover broad general tactics, so things like moving around, taking cover, recovering to get some of your stamina back, or your resolve back, reloading your weapons, things like that. And attacking is when you hit the monster with a thing. You can trade away one attack for two maneuvers if you want to do something tricky, but usually even support characters can do significant harm in Hollows.
Excellent. So Rosie's gonna leap forward, so I'm gonna move into the front here, and it's in an attempt to protect the squishy Sir Merlin, who she's been assigned to protect. And then she's going to take the guard action, shrug off that large plate taken off of an assembly line, which in the hollow is just sort of slightly the edges look a little forge hot. Pull the hammer and guard, which will restore some resolve. Restore 2 resolve. Turn her back up to her max as she braces for impact with this thing.
Cool. Yeah. The hound. I'm gonna have the hound leaps over. Effectively, the hound leaps over Alexandra's head and crashes down in front of everyone else as you rock up and slam your shield in the way. I'm going to.
I believe at the end of my turn, if I do not have a terrain tag, I may take cover as an immediate action.
You can indeed. So.
Yeah.
For the audience, normally terrain is something which you use as you spend a maneuver and you make a roll. It's strength for elevated terrain or quick for shielded terrain. Elevated terrain makes you more accurate. Shielded terrain makes you more survivable. However, Elaine's character uses the bludgeon, and one of the bludgeon's core ability is called "Come Out Swinging," and we wanted to have the bludgeon as this sort of cocky alpha male dickhead. So. They don't take cover in the same way that a normal person does. They can still have cover tokens, but then when they take damage, they discard it and get slightly more DR than they would as opposed to just to a normal person using it. But then they can't do it more often than not. So bludgeon users spend a lot of time running around, grabbing terrain, moving, and staying quite active. However, because it uses come out swinging, you can't roll to get this for free. You either have to pay 1 resolve or put 1 threat on your area. What would you like to do?
I think I will pay a resolve, as I just got a couple.
Very good.
Resolve. And this is probably, we're in a graveyard with countless large stone gravestones, so I think this cover is going to be Rosie positioning herself behind one of these larger gravestones to try and fortify.
Tremendous. Do I have any interesting maneuvers? Yes. No, can't do it. All right, cool. I don't have any interesting maneuvers. I'm gonna skip my maneuver this turn, and I'm gonna use my favorite attack that I've written for the game so far, which is grab and shake. Put that down. You don't know where it's been. Chant. The dog is going to try and eat you. So it lands on the ground, lunges forward, jinks past Rosie, and tries to close its jaws around you. This is TN 10 versus hard.
All right. Yeah, no. That's a fail.
Oof. Okay, cool. Thanks very much. That is...
Don't forget you got that relic.
Yeah, 4 wounds.
I'm just...
4 wounds, Chant.
Yeah, fuck off. I'm gonna use that relic immediately.
Okay.
I'm just gonna jam a bag of coins down its face.
Cool. Okay.
Distract it with a dog toy.
I get the second part of this attack, which is why I like it.
Go ahead.
So yeah, you managed to throw a bag of coins into its mouth. If this attack inflicts damage, attack all hunters in the target's area. TN equal to the first target's strong stat. So I figure you probably don't have a very high strong.
Has it inflicted damage? Because I didn't take any.
Fair enough. Okay, it doesn't.
It's not.
But it shakes its head around and those coins go flying. It's
easy come, easy go.
It's a bit where they hit the ground, they start getting sucked down into the mud, as if the bishop wants them back. But that is my turn. I have no other tricks to do. The Guardian Hound is a very simple and straightforward monster. So I will end my turn and place some threat. At the end of my turn, I get to place threat. I also get to place threat when anyone hits me. But I'm going to put all of my eggs in one basket and do this. Actually, I'm going to put some of my eggs in different baskets.
Several baskets.
So I'm going to put 2 each of my eggs in 2 different baskets.
Right. Either way, the chickens are screwed.
That's the end of my turn, and now we go on to the everyone else part of initiative. So you can act in any order you like, as long as you all go. And in between your turns, I get an interrupt phase. So if there's threat on the board, I can usually spend that to do something interesting as I yap and bark at you and run around. But we'll start with whoever wants to go first.
I'm buffing, so if I can go first,
Go for it.
that might be useful.
Also,
So I'm
perhaps
gonna.
moving.
I have considered it. Believe you me. Cool. So I'm going to guard. So Elaine, you need a resolve back, don't you?
Yes, I have one. I have lost a singular resolve.
Yes. Well, yeah, you can restore that, and also, Chris, you may focus as an immediate action if you so wish.
Oh, you absolute hero.
Damn.
And I'm gonna fuck off out of here. Bye.
That's Elaine, I think.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Definitely leave her there.
Definite. Oh god.
No,
No. I've killed
Oh
Elaine.
no, God!
The
Tabletop
coins.
simulator, guys.
Let's wander.
Come
Oh,
on.
no.
There you go.
The
He's up.
coins.
The
What-
coins. The
what is that?
damned coins.
Like, are you doing like magic to do that, or is it? Are you just sort of really reassuring? What does that look like when that happens?
Oh, good point. So, Merlin's book comes out of the attaché case, and Merlin's book is a thick leather-bound dossier of scientific notes, just bound together with screws, because like the screws are the only thing that will hold this. And he leafs through it, and casually, in a very offhand way, he reels off a couple of, it turns out, useful bits of reassuring trivia about the glyphs tattooed into the hound's skin. Suggesting that one means sacrifice. I'd hit it there if I were you. And then he slams the book closed and backs the hell up to hide behind a gravestone.
Right, you are, Mr. Merlin.
For some reason, my brain just immediately went, what's the most toxically masculine piece of trivia that you could yell? And the only one I could think of is great in this scene because you see when Viggo Mortensen kicks that helmet, he actually breaks his foot.
Toxic? Is that?
It's the best I could think of.
It is.
Did
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
All right, cool. It's the end of your turn. I get to make an interrupt phase. I'm going to do snap and snull, which means that I get to spend one threat out of this area, and I think target everyone in here. Let's see. Yep. Snap and snarl. All teeth and spit and anger. Cost 1 threat. Target all hunters in any area. TNA strong. 2 resolve 1 wound. So it's not very damaging, but it might pick up in a little bit. So that's you, Elaine and Chris, as it snaps and snarls at you.
I'm going to chuck focus
Okay.
for the defense.
It's a standard success for me.
Cool. 2 resolve, please.
Down, doggy. Bad.
So what was that at the end?
8.
Then no, just standard.
Cool. 2 resolve, please. As this thing lunges at you, and the chains around its neck start whipping and smashing against your shield.
Okay. No, bad. Down. It's like a gravestone, and then her shield on top of it, and this towering hound. Just okay.
CJ, let's have you next.
Right, yeah, so I think that for my maneuver, I'm just going to go ahead and pop over to flank right. Actually, before I do that really quick, I just want to... okay, yeah, I'm able to. Okay, I was just looking at something I'm planning to do a little later and wanted to make sure I wasn't messing it up for myself.
Cool.
But for now, what I'm going to do is... So, I think that Alexandra's inclination is to be up close, but she's smart enough to know that's not where she should be. So she's trying to get out of there, but while she's in close, she's gonna have a little fun. So she grabs her knife out of its holster and she's going to try to just stab it. Oftentimes, Alexandra is pretty good with ranged weapons, so she will often try to throw her knife. No, she's there. It's time to sink something into flesh, hopefully.
I really like the idea of like you jumping on this thing with all the skirts. All right.
Oh yeah, that's why it's ripped. That's why her clothes are ripped. She's just like, if you get her in close, she's like, I'm gonna absolutely mangle this thing if you let me.
So this thing has a close defense of 9. It's much
9.
less good up close than it is at
Okay.
range. So you're looking to roll under your stat and over 9 to do
And
wounds.
my stat, I believe, is quick. Yep.
Yep.
So I want to do under 14 over 9. Let's
Odds are
see.
good?
Yeah, the odds are nice, but Me and digital dice don't get on. All right, you've betrayed me. We're using the other one. 2.
2. That is that's resolve damage. I believe that's 2 resolve damage.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, cool. Okay. You manage to. So yes, you land on the back of this thing. If that's all right.
Oh yeah. Yes,
I really
please.
quite like the image of that. Land on the back of this thing and start stabbing. It's really bony, and so you it's a bit like when you're jointing a chicken, and your knife glances off the bone, and you have to really push down to cut through. It's like that, except it's trying to murder your friends. So yeah, you're not drawing blood. You're glancing off and smashing into bone.
It's just kind of splintering against the tip of the knife, and she's just like, "Damn it!"
I'm gonna spend some threat at the end of your turn to make a snarl, a snap and snarl attack against you. So that is TN 8 versus strong.
Okay. You need my strong for this is 8.
So yeah, you want to roll under your strong and over the number I've told you.
I keep going back to the grid because that's what people want to see, and then I have to go back to my dice. All right. I've got an 8, so I hit it. My strong is 8.
That's a critical success, CJ.
Ooh, let's
Tremendous.
go.
Tremendous. Now, unfortunately, that would have been great on the stabbing roll.
Yeah.
But this just means that you don't take any damage. You remain unflappable as you cling to the back of this thing and try to joint it.
She's got one hand on it seems to have that sort of chain around its neck. She's got one hand on the chain around its neck, and she's just kind of planted herself on the back of this thing, and she's like, "No, you will not." And that's about and you can just see her on top of there trying to stab this thing and not getting anywhere.
All right, finally it's Chris.
Sergeant Weeks is currently using the enormous piece of metal that's next to him as a shotgun rest, and is
that's no way to talk about Rosie.
and is going to take a.
I've been called worse.
Let's see what we got. This. Oh no. The worst possible result. A critical failure.
Well, that's fine. I mean, it is.
Did you use your focus on that? Did you want to?
No, I'd already used it on the.
Oh God.
Last one.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I need to flip my token.
Yeah.
It's empty.
It was the last. It was you.
I just didn't load it, I guess.
You fire off a bunch of shots at this thing, and a lot of it isn't connecting. It seems like the Viridian scripts where it doesn't say sacrifice are warding or protection, and so rather than impacting in this thing's body and tearing it up, it's marring the text, and the ink starts blurring. But there's this huge cloud of gun smoke, and it seems largely unbothered by it, as it's mainly interested in tearing CJ to bits. Because Alexandra on its back. You can reload. Go for it. And now it's top of the shop. It's Elaine.
All right. So Rosie has got a target in mind.
You've got your terrain, right?
I got my terrain token.
Oh, sorry, it's in front of you, so you can put it under your character if you'd like. But that is.
Well, if I lift up the character, you put the token in. Then we'll do a bit of a balance. There you go.
Right.
Let's go. Okay, got my terrain token. Yeah, so I'm still ready. I'm still guarding. So I think from out behind her shield wall of gravestones and metal, she's gonna try and clout this thing around the face. Go for a bludgeon attack. So hard of 14.
Oofed versus 9.
Let's go. A 5.
That's 2 resolve damage. Crack it across the jaw.
Whack.
It says.
Down. Bad dog.
It's horror. You don't break the jaw, but you definitely knock out a few teeth. as it carries on snarling at you. And you've got a maneuver left.
I do have a maneuver
Oh, no,
left.
close throw.
Um,
Oh no! Okay.
I think I've already got my cover. I'm already ready. So I could either guard to get my resolve back up, but I think I'm going to focus to give me advantage on my next attack roll. I think will be handy.
Cool.
So yeah, Rosie's fully locked in here.
I've given you a focus token.
Thank you very much.
Cool. I'm going to make another interrupt attack against you. You guys in front. So that is TN8 versus strong. Again, it's snarling and snapping and trying to keep you at bay.
Failure.
Against strong, so yeah, that's a superior success. Wait, no, just a regular success.
Cool. 2 resolve damage, Elaine, as it bashes into your shield. Chris, no damage at all. It seems to be focusing on Elaine.
I think I will in this instance.
I mean, I failed my defense, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. What did you roll?
A 9.
Oh, what's the
which
strength?
is 1 over my stat.
Heartbreak. Oh, then 1 wound, please.
Lovely.
Ooh.
I get to make an attack.
Oh, great. Why is that?
When I suffer wound damage from an entity attack, if my shotgun is loaded, I must make an immediate attack with it.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
cool. Yeah, it turns and closes its jaws around your arm.
Which is an 8 under my stat.
Oof, that's not over its defense.
Cool, so it just takes resolve, yeah?
2 resolve. Yeah, it's looking increasingly shattered, increasingly
I need to
bothered.
see-
It's got 2 resolve left. I will say as well, I'm using the entity enhancement rules, which we're experimenting with at the moment, which means that we had a leveling table, which we sort of messed around with to try and adjust it for more players. Hollows is balanced for about 3 players. You can play the quick start with as many players as you want. It gets easier if there's more players. For these seasoned Hollows players, I thought that we'd give them a bit of a rougher time. So we've increased the resolve and the wounds of the hound appropriately, and it has 1 special ability it can pick, which I haven't picked yet.
You don't need to
Which is
till you
nice.
use it.
Mm-hmm.
I think in response to this attack, Rosie's going to step back and take her hammer to that terrain in front of her to essentially shatter the gravestone, and use that as a way to avoid the damage, because I get double damage resistance because I'm bludgeoned,
You do.
and I discard the terrain tag. But also, on account of my arrogant ability, when I would discard a terrain tag, I can instead give it to another hunter in my area. So I will
Oh,
get.
you genuine legend.
So in this situation, Rosie's essentially seeing the hound chewing on Mr. Weeks. She shatters this gravestone
Sergeant, I have a rank.
Sergeant. Rosie
Holy
doesn't understand the military, and will sort of attempt to shove you out of the way to get you behind another gravestone. I think feels thematic, and place herself back in front of this big nasty doggo.
Tremendous. I like that. I think that's everyone. I think so that was Elaine's turn, right? Or was that my turn?
That was that was an interrupt that we did.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
that was an interrupt on my turn. Stuff happened.
Cool.
There were combos fired up.
Combo
people.
stuff. And now it's my go. So this time I'm going to try and hit Elaine with Chris. But first
now that he's got a gravestone.
First up, I'm going to use the where is it? Advance, reposition 1 hunter closer to the entity. So every creature has its own maneuvers, but they also have access to their standard maneuvers. And standard maneuvers are the boring things which you can do on your turn, which aren't worth rewriting over and over and over. And these are reposition 1 hunter closer to the entity. You can that's advanced. You can turn around. All hunters at close are repositioned clockwise or counterclockwise. Choose one and apply it to all targets. You can shrug off to get back a bit of resolve, which is probably a sensible idea. And you can hunt down. So if anyone goes to support, I can try and run after you and get you out of support. What I'm interested in now is turning around. Am I? Yeah, I am interested in turning around, actually.
That's right. Turn 360 and walk away.
I'm going to use. So I'm going to pick one of the default enhancements, which is frenzied. So the way these work is the GM can pick them at any point during the fight, and they enhance the creature in some way. And I'm going to pick the most obvious one, which is frenzied. -2 maximum resolve. Make an additional attack action on your turn. You cannot make the same attack more than once per turn. This breaks me. So this means I have no resolve left. But that means that which means that if I take any damage, it is automatically wounds, even if you get a standard success. So
Dog have an unbreakability?
it does have an unbreakability.
And it gets it.
Phase 2. The Latin choir intensifies.
I mean, no.
Unfortunately, it only works if someone else broke it.
Oh, nice.
So, like, I would reposition you closer to front, or have you take resolve damage, but instead it just gets angry. So
that.
now I can make 2 attacks, which is nice. So I'm going to absolutely marmalize you, lads. So first up, I'm going to hang on. Yep, we're good. I'm going to do turn around. So turn around repositions all hunters either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So I'm going to shift around to there. I'm going to no, not you. Oh.
I'm just going to put him over here for now.
Thank you. Everyone else goes around there. I'm then going to attempt to. Let's just everyone knows what the dog looks like.
Does it move threat tokens as well?
No, the threat tokens stay where they were.
Right.
Threat tokens only move if it says to. And if you're repositioned, you get to keep cover. So basically, in the fiction, you haven't moved. The monster has. The monster is going to grab and try and hit Elaine with Chris. So that is TN 10 versus hard, Chris.
No.
Love the thought that Rosie just like pushes Weeks out of the hound like range, and then the hound's just like, no, I want that one. That one just picks up anyway.
Give me it. So that's so was that a complete failure, Chris?
Yeah, just fucked it.
Tremendous. 4 wounds, -1 for your terrain.
Cool, I've got a wound left.
Great.
I think I might use my martyr ability here.
Okay.
An ally in my area would suffer wound damage. I may expend my ready token, which I've been holding on to. And I suffer the wound damage instead, -1.
Fantastic.
Tanking.
Nice. In which case, 3 wounds, please.
Excellent. So Rosie will dive in the way of this. Like, oh.
Now I do get to try and hit you with Chris, because like wording wise, it's the original target rather than the one which ended up with. So this is Chris. What's your strong stat?
8.
8. TN 8 versus hard. Elaine, shouldn't be a problem for you.
Should not. Rosie is made of hardness. Let's go. I slightly fucked it.
Just a terrible roll.
Yeah, that's an absolute fail. Rosie was not prepared to be hit by Mr. Weeks.
Yeah, cool. Okay. The hound grabs Mr. Weeks out from behind the gravestone and smacks you with him. But then you're able to. I quite like the idea of you like prizing the jaws off, and then they just close over your head. So that's 3 wounds from the initial attack and 1 wound from Chris damage.
Shit.
Oof.
Now for my second attack. Wild Chain. Rusted steel links the size of your fist whip through the air. Target all hunters in rear and flank. TN 7 versus quick. 2/2 damage. So that's everyone. Aside from Chant, who's wisely run off.
What was the TN for quick? Was it, sorry?
7.
7. Oh, that's
they're all pretty low at this point.
Yeah, that's a fail on my part.
Absolutely. 2 wounds, please, Elaine.
What did I take in resolve?
2. It's 2-2. CJ?
I'm looking to get over the TN, right?
Over the TN, under your
my
quick.
stat. Yeah, so I was over the TN, but I was not under my quick.
Ah,
So
that is 2 wounds.
Yeah.
It smashes Rosie with Sergeant Weeks, and then lunges off across the graveyard to try and recover, although it probably won't, just because of the way the mechanics of this game work. But as it does so, those huge chains whip around and smack you to bits, kicking up huge lumps of shattered gravestones. This thing howls to the moon.
This is definitely second health bar. The boss's frenzied. Shit's got real.
Yeah.
Mm.
And almost entirely because we can't roll less than 15.
Yeah. That's the trick, right? You think?
Yeah, just get low numbers.
I'm going to.
I feel like this probably smacked her the side of the head, so she's a little like and angry about it. I feel.
Yeah, that seems good. Actually, I'm just gonna bother Chant for a bit, I think.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no worries, man. Right. It's now. I've placed my threat. At the end of my turn. Everyone else gets to go, aside from Elaine, who is. I'm actually quite happy about how much I managed to hurt her.
Yeah.
You're only on 7. You're still on 7 wounds.
I'm on 4 wounds
Oh, okay. Great.
Quick,
because I took the hit for weeks.
Before, since we're at a nice entity, does anyone need like a 2 to 3 minute bio break?
I did. Yeah, I could do with a wee.
This is a good time since the entity just went. So if you've got a wee or
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Coffee,
Yep,
yeah,
back
let's
to
do it.
that.
During this interlude, where there's no one here to see me, I can confess to you, chat, that I have utterly fucked my build. Utterly fucked it. I have made a healer who has no way of avoiding damage and can barely get out of the way. And he can't die, so I can't even replace him.
I've placed my threat. It's everyone else's go. So
Normally we go for Chant because Chant is the healer and buffer.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And also, if he doesn't go now, I'm going to pull him into front and kill him.
Yeah, I'd like to at least, heal someone one time before you destroy me. Alright, so I'm going to very predictably move into flank with the rest of the gang.
Yes, stay there.
I'm going to have to. I can't get away again.
Ah.
I didn't take a weapon that usefully gives me more
Wait, there's no
maneuverability.
threat here. There's no threat here. We're fine.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. And cowering behind Rosie, frankly, he's leafing frantically through the dossier and speaking lines that are sort of half formula, half unnerving occultism. Something that sends shivers down your spine and also spikes your adrenaline and somehow is healing Rosie? Maybe? If I can roll under 16. I can roll under 16, so
that's the stuff.
I'm taking a wound. Elaine, you're healing 3 wounds.
Let's go. Oh, you're reading from the good book. That's the one. That's the good book, isn't it?
Debatable.
It's the book that doesn't hurt.
I like to think the book is past morality.
It claims to be, certainly.
Its owner certainly is.
Rosie can't read. This is all books are the same to her. They're just read to her by Merlin.
Oh, we're gonna do bedtime stories.
Oh, God bless Rosie. God bless all your characters, Elaine.
Biochemistry.
They just seem like good eggs.
That's when they burned the bishop at the stake.
Ooh.
Next up. That's the end of your turn. Anything interesting?
Do interrupts.
I can do interrupts. But I don't have any threat. I can bother CJ? I can bother CJ. Yeah, I'll snap and snarl at CJ. Sorry, Alexandra. That's TN 8 versus strong. So under your strong, over 8.
Under my strong and over 8 is interesting because my strong is 8.
Okay, well, it's possible. It might work out beautifully.
It might. Where are my dice? There they are. Okay. 3.
Under your strong.
Right.
That's 2 resolve damage. As this thing barks and snaps at you. Should we move a dice over here that you could roll?
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. Thank you.
There you go,
That means I'm doing a lot less in the end.
Yes, there's an awful lot of barking, and I like to think some of that damage is loose chain.
Yeah, I think that's one of
change.
the.
Boy's a boy.
I think that's one of the main concerns that she's having right now is she's got herself up on the back of this, and she might actually be maybe stuck a little in the chain.
Narratively haven't left the back of the thing. Yeah. Great.
Like the skirts are like caught in its spiky collar and things like that.
And so she's just every time it moves, she's just getting a chain like whipping against her face or her shoulder.
Wow, Alexandra's so brave. She's not getting down from the dog.
I don't think you're supposed to ride those, love.
Get a horse.
That wasn't the goal. Is her terse reply.
Is it my go or
It's
Elaine's?
either you or CJ.
No, not CJ. Shall I go first, CJ?
If you'd like to, nothing that I'm doing this round will really have any effect on anyone else. I don't think. So.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to reload. First action, and if I reload in close, I make an immediate attack with the butt of the rifle.
Kicking and screaming.
Never mind. Never mind.
You're rolling too high. All right, now try using the other end of the shotgun.
I'm going to use the other end of the shotgun. Hang on, I need to flip this token. It stays
The one the
loaded.
bullets come out of. That's the important end
Yeah.
of the shotgun, I think.
And then. Nope.
If
Oh
you
no,
right,
no! That is yes.
If you right click on it and then select roll.
Yes,
that
that's
means
what I've
that
been doing.
Okay, cool. It looks like you've been throwing them around the table.
The coin I have to. I can't make it flip properly.
Oh, okay.
I cannot work out how to do it so that it properly flips and doesn't just go one over.
If you just
you
mouse
doing
over
that?
something and press R.
Right click it.
Mouse over.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was just
Yeah.
lifting it in the air for me.
You can
earlier.
juggle.
Anyway. Yes.
14.
I've forgotten what I'm doing now. 14. That's my stat.
Oh, tremendous news, Chris. That's 4 fucking wounds.
Yes, please.
Ooh,
What does that
kaboom.
look like?
That looks like missing with the butt of the shotgun, putting another round in, and then firing up. As it's like he smacked it, and it's taller than him, so he's firing up into the sort of
Into the
what this bit is, the chest plate,
Yeah.
sternum. That's the one.
Yeah, cool. There's a tremendous report as your shotgun discharges, and everyone's actually, yeah. Considering you're shooting point blank into the chest of it, everyone's within 4 feet of you currently. Narratively, there's this tremendous as the shotgun goes off, and this thing's chest plate is sheared off. There's several sort of big sucking wounds. Again, it seems like whatever blood this thing has is very close to it's keeping it close to itself. The blood isn't coming out, but there's these sort of sucking black suppurating wounds with this ichor bleeding out of it as it reels back from the force of the blow.
Just help you out. I'll pop the threat token on because I successfully hit it.
Cheers, boss. And that's
Welcome.
the end of your go, I think.
2 actions. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to do snap and snarl against everyone in this area, spending your threat. So that is everyone in that area. TN8 versus strong, please.
Wound, please.
Oh, delightful. Have it.
Is it just one?
Yeah, just the one.
Cool. I've just taken a wound with a loaded shotgun, so I make a shotgun attack.
It bites down on the shotgun. Yeah.
I hit 1 under my stat.
Okay, that's just the 2
Irritating.
wounds. Jeez. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you've knocked off half this thing's health in two
That's
actions.
fine.
So
Oh, it's gone empty.
okay. Yeah, you blow the side of this thing's face out. Did anyone else get hit?
I got a success.
Well
I
done.
got a
Two
superior
results.
success.
Thank you,
And
sir.
no damage for you.
Hmm. Rosie's getting wise to this thing now. It's like, oh, I think the teeth. I think the teeth are the dangerous part, everyone.
You nailed it!
Watch out for his teeth.
She's learning, Sergeant.
This is her first dog.
This is Alexandra's first rodeo.
Tremendous. CJ. It's
It's
broken.
Alexandra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alexandra or Alexandria?
Alexandra, yeah.
Alexandra. Yeah, Alexandra is a place.
So the plan was slightly changed from mechanically from the turning around, but narratively from the being stuck on the dog.
Yeah.
So she realizes that the knife is not doing what she wants it to. She's just hitting bone up here, and she stuffs that back in the sheath and pulls out the book. And I can attack from close with my book with wise versus weird.
It's weird. Its weird defense is terrible, but it's already broken, so it doesn't really matter that much.
All right, so my wise is 11, and basically I think that nestled in the pages of this innocuous, that's the word I'm looking
It
for.
seems pretty innocuous.
Yeah, it's a seemingly innocent
Okay.
diary and bits of research notes. There's definitely been people who have been into the occult, who have written in this and had this. And so she's like, fine. And while still stuck in the chain, she pulls the book out and starts reading effectively a hex.
What flavour of book have you got? Is it Eldritch?
It's what's the word? Profane.
Profane. Very good. Make me an attack roll, please.
Okay.
That's under
And
your...
I love the image of you being on the back of this thing and like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I need the right page.
Oh, that's literally it. She's literally like, the knife isn't working, and that was the quick, easy solution. So, all right. So
You just got to roll under your wise.
my wise is 11.
I've just put another threat token on it because
I didn't.
Oh,
I hit and
thank you. You missed, CJ.
I missed. I got a 9. I'm just. I haven't
That's-
hit one.
Like that's that your like your hexes are strong, but the Viridian text on this thing seems to be protecting it. And what does it look like when you cast a hex?
I think that there's sort of like, for just a brief moment, it's as if there's almost, it's that sort of, it's not necessary, it's more of a feeling than, but here in the hollow it's more visible in that it's like there's a dark aura around Alexandra, and all of the things that are a little bit off about her even normally become, just for that moment, a lot more visible. The dark, deep bags under her eyes, the fact that she's just a little too spindly in certain areas. Just everything just looks a little bit distorted in the wake of that shadow and those kind of tendriling shadows around her as she's trying. And at this moment, she's gone to her first page. She's reading one out, and the shadows are there, but these sigils are just it's bouncing off like it's not even touched, and she's just cursing. And
the dog starts steaming like a racehorse underneath the assault of the magic.
And she's just cursing and flipping through the page, looking for her next hex.
You've got a maneuver.
I think during this time, she's kind of pulling with her leg, trying to get loose of this chain. While she's, and that's, maybe part of the reason that this hex isn't entirely successful is because she's multitasking. But she manages to finally pull loose, and she's going to jump down to flank left.
Okay.
And that's going to be my maneuver.
All right. End of your turn. I'm going to make yet another attack against you bastards over here. That's TN8 versus strong, snapping and snarling.
nope.
Critical fail.
What did you roll? 20.
And that 20.
Cool. Anyone who failed takes 1 wound. Anyone who succeeded takes 2 resolve.
I succeeded again.
Well
Oh.
done.
Hang on. I'm sheltered, aren't I?
Yes, you take no
You
wounds.
are.
Hey.
As the dog, free of the lunatic noblewoman who was trying to stab it and then hex it, bounds forward into you and starts yapping, bounces off the gravestones you're standing in front of, Chris, jostles past Graves? Was it Merlin Graves?
Yeah.
Jostles past Merlin and then slams hard into Rosie, knocking her on the ground. It's Elaine's go. This thing is still it's got 5 wounds. So
Mhm.
if the more damage you can do to it before it gets a chance to heal, the better.
Yeah. Rosie's been knocked on her ass with this thing, but she does have a focus, so she is gonna, while stumbling back, just bring that hammer round into the side of its head as best as she can.
Top draw.
Let's see how we do. Ooh. So the 3 will be a superior success. No.
The 3 is a success, but because it has
Success,
no resolve, it just translates directly to wounds.
Excellent.
How many wounds do you do?
How much wounds does
the second number of
the second number? That's the one thing I forgot to write down for my bludgeon. Was the damage on it?
I'm guessing it's 2.
2.
I believe it's 1, 2.
Unless he took the one that's absolutely massive.
I took brutal, which is
It's 1.
might actually just be 1, 1 because it
It's-
gains.
It's 1/1, but it ramps up when you crit.
Gets, yeah.
Brutal's 2/2 that ramps up when you quit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, okay, so 2, 2. Okay, excellent. So 2 wounds. Neat. So give it a crack around the face, which is going to get rid of my focus, and then she's going to drag herself out from underneath it and guard to ready herself up again. And then at the end of her turn, she will take a resolve, spend a resolve to get one of those free terrain tokens as she drags herself away underneath or behind one of them there cool gravestones. Scampering, smashing with a hammer, running away, and then readying herself.
You had the threat.
I did it. It's done. I'm gonna do the same trick as last time, but I'm gonna start off with the. First up, I'm gonna recover, so I get back 3 resolve. What's it called? Shrug off. Restore 3 resolve. That's my maneuver this turn. For my second action, I'm going to do Wild Chain. So that's everyone, please. TN 7 versus Quick.
Oh,
Oh god, what's me quick? Yes, success.
17.
Hello,
2 wounds if you failed. 2 resolve if you succeeded.
I'm down to 1 wound.
Good stuff. Well, remember you've got cover.
Oh,
I'm down to 2 wounds.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll discard my cover
Righto.
and let it get broken, but then my thing will pop, and I'll give that cover to Mr. Merlin.
Ah,
God, she's a
what was
wonderful
the
assistant.
TN again? Sorry.
7.
7. Oh, okay, so I need to be in between 7 and my. Did you say quick?
Mhm.
Okay.
If you do that, you take no damage.
Yep, I am 13 and my quick is 14. So.
Bang on. Cool.
Thank
Okay.
God, I'm not doing well, folks.
You take no damage. I really want you to get. I want you to get a hit in before this,
Oh my
before
god!
this is over.
Oh
It
my god,
happened.
my quick is 9. Yes, no, sorry, I also got a superior success.
Oh, great! Well done. No damage, and you got a gravestone.
Yay!
Tremendous.
Well, I like to think that all of the gravestones have one name on them, but I don't know what it is yet. I feel like thematically, if it's a weird hollow or something, right?
It could be.
Hmm.
So canonically, they're all anonymous.
Oh,
I like
interesting.
the idea of them being like maybe different versions of the bishop that he's killed off.
Or different versions of us.
Yeah, they're all. It was you all along. Elaine's gone. Sorry. So that's my first attack with the hound, and my second attack with the hound. I'm going to try and smash. I'm going to do that same trick again. So that is grab and shake. Chris, no. Yeah, because
I mean, yes, because you could kill me.
Yeah, I reckon the strong's higher. Grab and shake, please. TN10 hard.
Incorrect. My hard is higher. Standard success.
2 resolve, reduced to 1 because you cover.
Yeah.
Everyone else, what's your strong, Chris?
My strong 8.
Everyone else make a TN 8 under strong in that area. So that's Chant and Elaine.
Superior success.
Great, no damage for you.
Standard success.
2 damage for you. Reduced to 1 because of your terrain. Bloody terrain.
God, Rosie's brilliant.
Bloody players working out how terrain works.
Yeah.
Cool. Bounces around. That's my turn. I'm going to place some threat again at the end of my turn. Actually, I'm going to hit my cap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I've got a cap of 10. That's fine.
Alexandra gets chains now. That's why I had my superior success on the. She saw that chain coming and she was like, "Not again."
This is the second time that this dog has tried to hit Rosie with another person. Didn't go well the first time. You know.
At first, you don't succeed.
I think it makes sense to Rosie because they're your friends and they're your friends to hurt you. Hand's gone. Everyone else, you can kill it this round if you're clever about it. Or sorry, if the dice are good. The dice might roll badly. But it's everyone else's turn. CJ, let's see if you can get a hit in, huh?
Why not? Do you have
Come on!
All right. So, because I'm going for, I think actually I'm gonna, because my quick is higher, I think I am going to try one more time with the knife. Yeah, I am. She's still holding the book, flipping through. She can't find the hex, and she's like, "Ugh!" and just tries to stab it again.
Do you want to?
Your knife is
sorry.
Your knife is ranged, right?
It's so I can do quick from close or range from with sharp.
Because you've got the option there of moving out to ranged left out of that zone that's got 2 threat in. So
well, I was gonna move after I attacked. I guess in this case it's really 6 one way, half a dozen the other. But I'll do it now.
Well, no, because if you stay there and do it, then if you do hit, you'll drop threat in that zone, then move out of it.
Yeah. So I think
if you want the tactical rundown.
Well, yeah. So So I am gonna stay in, and then
looking at this board from above is terrifying. Just threat near us.
I have ways to remove threat. I just haven't gotten to them yet because I can't do it close.
and from what I can tell, Chant's got a bunch of stuff about threat, but he's been knocked about too much to do anything.
We've all been slapped.
I may be able to do something useful this time.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm 1 turn behind on my strategy at the moment, but if we get to the next turn, I might be able to help.
Comes to fruition.
But for this one, I'm gonna stab now, and then I'm gonna move. So I'm gonna go for, let's see, quick is close. Yep, and that's a higher. I have a higher quick stat, so it's better.
So you're looking to get over 9.
Yeah, I didn't.
It finds more bone, but it's down to 1 resolve.
And she just swears. She's like, "Why do I keep trying to use the knife?" And then.
What does Alexandra consider a swear?
I cannot believe that the first thing my brain supplied was poppycock.
Poppycock.
That's it.
That's a good swear.
I hate it, but yeah, that's just poppycock.
This is bullshit. And just sort of like I like the idea that she turns around and walks off.
She's probably, it's a little bit distracted with the 3 of you and the others, so she's probably literally just like, and just
picks up the skirts and walking through.
Yeah. She's so upset. I think she's a little bit of a bloodthirsty person, so the fact that she's landed no hits this whole time, she's just like, and so she goes.
Let's go with Chant.
All right. Merlin pulls himself up, kind of leaning on the gravestone that he's cowering behind. He's now adorned with, like, shallower versions of the wounds that he healed on Rose and the Sergeant. It would take approximately one snarl from this dog to knock him fully into the grave permanently, or at least until he wakes up in the refuge. But he's still going. He's still got some juice in him. Grant, are you at your threat cap?
I will be at the end of my turn. Yeah, I'm at threat cap.
So what would happen theoretically if I did something that would place more threat? Is that possible?
So my threat cap only kicks in at the end of my turn. After I place threat, I have to remove threat down to my cap.
I see. So I would really simply be encouraging you to do something fucking horrible as an interrupt.
I mean, I always want to do that. And the only thing
I want to give you what you want, you know?
Oh, okay. The only thing I can do is snap and snarl with my interrupts. So it's not huge damage, but then again, you haven't got a lot to give. I recommend you fuck about with threat because that's kind of one of the things your character does, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, what I mostly do is attract it.
That's fine. You can get out of dodge.
Oh, you know what? I'd have to move first, and then I'd have to surrender my terrain. And no, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm going to repeat the same pseudo-scientific chant that I was wielding last turn. This time I'm gonna try and heal Chris.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
I'm just not sure we're gonna finish this fucker this round. Yep, that's 3 wounds for you,
Oof.
and -1 wound for me. Grant, I'm on 1 wound.
That's the stuff, mate.
Have fun with that.
That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna try and I can't. I can't. I'm gonna do snap and snarl at the end of my turn. I'm gonna do snap and snarl at the end of everyone's turn.
I haven't finished my turn yet.
Oh, fine. I'll put the threat down. Go on then. What's your next trick?
I'm debating whether I want to get out of here or whether I actually want to do a little bit of damage.
Damage,
Well, yeah,
damage.
do some damage because then that opens him up for murder.
Actually, no. I think I'm just gonna guard. I'm gonna guard, which means I'm gonna restore 2 resolve. Chris, you're down 1 resolve. You can have 1 back.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think that'll do for now.
You'll be happy to know, Grant, I'm fine.
Boo!
I have no resolve lost, no wounds lost now.
Boo! Target all hunters in any area. TN 8, strong 2-1. Same verse. Second verse, same. Just roll your dice.
Yeah, that's a success.
TN8,
TN8.
did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I got critical success.
Oh.
Standard for me.
Don't worry, it's Barkersworth and it's fine.
Both are
Cool.
bad. Both are bad.
That's two resolve on a success, 1 wound on a fail, and that's reduced by any terrain you've got.
Is it my go?
It is your go, Chris.
Hey!
It's got 1 resolve left.
I reload, which means
Right.
I hit it with my shotgun.
Roll to hit.
Never mind!
Not with that roll. Next up.
Next up, I'm going to
Shooting.
focus.
Oh. Well,
Oh
looky here.
God! I'm so sorry, folks. When I rally, when I guard an ally in my area, may focus as an immediate action. Guess who's getting that?
Oh, tip top.
Okay.
I don't focus with my second action.
You've got a maneuver. What do you want to do? Do you want to stand on top of a gravestone?
No, I'd like to fire my shotgun, please.
You've already. Oh, you haven't fired it yet. That's right. Sorry.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
reloaded it, hit
Mhm.
him with it.
Okay.
Now I'm rolling some dice.
The old 1-2 punch.
What's its?
9.
Oh, standard.
That breaks it. It doesn't have anything on
Ah.
second break though.
Flip a coin. It's still
Your
loaded.
3rd health bar.
All right, cool. I'm going to snap a snarl again. So that's TN8 for everyone in that area.
Oh, fail.
Cool. 1 wound, please, Elaine.
I passed. Is it? It's 2 resolve, but 1 because of the.
Yeah, 2 resolve, and same for you, Chant.
I failed, but I'm sheltered, so it does nothing.
Boo. Okay. That's the end of your turn. Which I think it's now time for Elaine. It's broken again.
It's
You've only got to do
broken
3
again.
wounds.
You got to do 3
okay.
wounds, which is tricky.
Yeah, I think Rosie is already fairly turtled up. She's happy. It's time to
Turtled up.
time to try and
Turtle up.
Turtle up, everyone. All her friends are behind gravestones except for Alexandra is having a bit of a moment over there. You know, they're kind of
Stabbing her book.
This happened in the last hollow, like finding the right page. Like, I understand, love, books are hard, okay?
Is it your birthday soon? We'll get you a bookmark.
So Rosie's going to try and remember which of those runes was the one that Merlin told to hit that one, which is going to count as focusing, and then whack. I'm going to go for the whack. So focus and whack. Do. Boop, boop. Oh, that's a critical success.
Oh, it's dead. How do you kill it?
Yeah, because I get... So I think the way I'm flavoring her bludgeon, her hammer, is this is the one that she used on the assembly line. And because every time you critically success, it gets +1, it gets hotter and hotter.
Nice.
So I think there's just this moment where it just glows bright red hot, and she's like, that one, and she spots the rune that Merlin said, and just whack, cracks it right there.
Where is it on the hound?
I think you said it was somewhere around was around its side?
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just behind the ribs.
Just behind the ribs, you know. That chest plate, that sternum was kind of blocking it a little bit, but now it's a clean shot, red hot forge hammer, whack, right on the rune in its rib cage.
There's a horrible crunch as this thing's ribs pierce its own black and withered heart, and it collapses to the ground, picks itself up a couple of times, judges howls, and then falls over, and starts its breaths become increasingly heavy and ragged as it is dying. It's dead. Mechanically, it is dying. Now, before we wrap this up, you're going to baptism. And we just sort of like run over this in the fight clubs. But after every single entity fight, if you win, which you did, congratulations everyone. It was. I feel like it was a close run thing for a little bit there.
Touch and go.
The middle of that fight
just
was
a little
going
bit.
badly.
Yeah. Clutch healing from Chant, who I couldn't fucking kill.
Always the way, buddy.
That's the way. That's the way. But that's the thing. Like, you know what? I'm really happy with that, because if you did it again, you would have died.
Absolutely, yes.
So yeah, you do a baptism, and so this was initially brought the idea that you anoint yourself with the thing's blood. This is now, as we've rewritten Hollows and gone through the fiction, is up to you as a group to determine what your baptism is and how you derive power from this thing. You can anoint something, you can consume something, you can harvest something, but you get 4 bone, which we will keep track of on here, which you can spend to upgrade your refuge, and you also get 1 ability. So what does a refuge look like for you? And seeing that CJ, so not a refuge, what does a baptism look like for you? And seeing as CJ has such a fucking terrible fight, if you've got any ideas, I'd like to put yours first.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So at the moment, she's looking at both of her weapons, which she has both of them out, and she's like, all right, make yourself useful. And she's going to go back up to the dying thing, and is going to take the knife and slit a new slit down its throat. She's looking for an area that will still bleed, because she was just hitting so much bone this whole time. So she's looking for blood. You
find the one surviving artery on this thing.
Yeah, great. And she's like, good. Stashes the knife back into the thigh holster, and sticks her hand straight into this wound. Just takes a whole, covers her hand in the blood, and she opens the back of the book, and she smears it along the back inside cover. And she's like, and she closes it and she goes, think about what you've done. And she puts it in her holster, and then any remaining bits on her, she just licks it.
Gross.
Weeks is just standing next to this, holding a gruel bowl under the wound. Works for you, huh? And then just drinks it.
Do you mix it into the remaining gruel?
No,
Or
it's
is
just
it-
a bowl
Oh,
at this
okay,
point.
cool.
He's just using it as a collection thing. But like, that would be so much simpler than the way I'm doing it.
She looks at you just like,
It's just blood down here.
Chant.
Merlin is taking samples, but Merlin is taking samples with the ridiculously complicated sword that he has to rapier that he has to assemble from the attacker case because it is yelling at him. It is displeased with its absence from this fight, so he hastily assembles it, still looking on the verge of death, and it's got sort of channels and screws in it in which he can draw blood and
You
samples.
wretch! You coward! You didn't swing me once!
It echoes in your ears.
I didn't need you. And then he plunges it like hilt deep into the corpse and lets it feed, lets it do its work.
Now I'm fascinated to see if Rosie is going to carry on being wholesome or really invert that.
I think at this point, so the hound, it has these like hellish chains that it was using to attack. So Rosie will be like, that'll do. And she'll break some of those off. She lays this slab of iron that she uses, this iron plate that she uses as a shield on, and like across her knee coils the chains on it. And then with her forge hammer, she just dang, and just like she's back on the assembly line, she forges this chain deep into the iron while singing some wordless work chant that was the only song that they sang back when she was Hollowborn on the assembly line.
You kept it wholesome. Well done.
Relatively, the slightly demonic fire of this unnatural forging just uplighting her as every time,
reflecting in your eyes.
dang, every time the hammer goes down, there's just the sparks and the slight glow from it, as there's this slightly sinister humming work song. So yeah.
I was fully expecting like Rosie climbs inside of it and goes, "Oh, I'm a stupid dog." You know? It's just like goes in the wound, opens it like, "Oh, I'm a stupid dog."
Why would she do that? She's never seen a
I don't
dog
know.
before.
It's just what was in my head for some reason.
I'm a normal dog. Yeah. So that's us for this session. Thank you so much for watching. What you'll need to do before the next session is pick out some powers. So each one of the weapons you're carrying gives you access to abilities, and every time you slay an entity and do a baptism, you get a new one. So it can be thematically appropriate, or it can be a fun power build that you're going for. I don't mind. We'll go for tier 1 abilities for this, just to try and keep things a little bit more balanced because this is a starting adventure. But we'll do that before next session. For now, we're going to sign off. CJ, can you take us out?
yes, thank you everyone so much for joining us for episode 1 of our slightly buffed out The Sins of Grisham Priory. This has been so much fun, even if I didn't hit anything.
Yeah, you didn't make anything bleed.
I have a gambit, and right now that's that whole niche, that shtick. If I don't do the shtick, I don't do anything, and that's okay. Alexandra is a very specific character, so I'm having a great time with it. I have so far achieved what I wanted to with her. I think everyone else is just like really. Oh, I love everyone's characters and everyone's mechanics, and it's been great fun. So we will see you next week. We will see you next week for another episode of The Sins of Grisham Priory here with the Rowan, Rook and Decard team. And in the meantime, today, you can pick up that quick start, The Sins of Grisham Priory, at rrdgames.com/hollows. And when you're done with that, tomorrow you can join us for the launch party for Hollows at 3 p.m. British time, and we're going to be hitting that launch button at 4. So come hang out and watch us talk about it, and we will see you again tomorrow and then next week. Thanks to Sam, Lamont, thanks to Grant, Chris, Chant, Elaine. I think I've thanked everyone. Thanks to Tabletop Sim. And
And mascot Teddy in the background there.
I don't think you can see him in my in the thing, but my dog is just being a little mascot. So thanks to Teddy for being a real MVP and trying to eat my sausage roll in the middle of this game. Goodbye, everyone, and we will
Goodbye.
see you again soon.